This is Harry Murray at Murray's Fly Shop in Edinburgh, Virginia. The cicada that we get every 17 years is coming on strong. Technically, for our part of the mountain and our part of the valley, the textbooks say they're from about the middle of May until the end of June. These are so unusual and the density is so heavy that the fishing can be fantastic. We'll show you the ways we fish and the patterns we use for both the smallmouth bass on the Shenandoah River and for the brook trout in the mountain trout streams. The photo that you see on the left is the real 17-year cicada. It is a mouthful for the bass. It is a mouthful for the trout. Now, in the top right-hand corner, you'll see the pattern that we call the Murray's bass cicada. That is a size 6 long shank hook that we often dress with a dry fly floating to fish it up on the surface. The pattern you see on the lower right-hand corner is the Murray's cricket that we use because the underneath of this natural insect is a very, very dark color. So we're going to use that Murray's cricket on our mountain trout streams where we have wild trout. Cicada fishing for the mountain brook trout and also for smallmouth bass is an exceptionally exciting form of angling. The picture on the left, you'll see this angler is fishing the North Fork of the Shenandoah River. His first cast as he moved into that casting position was over right against that tree where you see number 1. He had just twitched his cicada right in through there, and the bass you see hooked took it right away. After he landed that, he cast downstream just a little bit to about where you see number 2, let it fall in against the bank just as tight as he could. Now he's got a couple options. He can experiment with using a line hand stripping motion to make the cicada sort of kick off the bank, or he can use a slow pull type thing to mimic one swimming along. But that cicada would probably hit it before it got 2 feet down the water. After he landed that one, he'd shoot down to number 3, and then he can continue with that ploy all the way down under those tree limbs as you see them, because that's where the bugs are going to fall in from. In fact, that's a pretty good ploy to put that bug on the water with a splash periodically. So just experiment, wade downstream real gradually, fish down and across the way you're doing them, and that is a tremendous amount of fun. Now let's look over at our picture on the right-hand side. This is a mountain brook trout stream. They run from Pennsylvania all the way down into the Carolinas. Cicadas are a mouthful of food in any of this. We use, since they're dark in the tummy, we use a number 8 little black cricket type pattern. Now, when this angler moved into that position he's in right now, at number 1, he saw a nice trout rising to suck in the natural. First cast up, zap, he caught him. Now, after he landed that, he was looking over to the left. He didn't see any coming up to take his cicada, so he'd cast over to number 2 and just let the fly drift down through there. And you can bet your life if there was a trout anywhere in it, he found his way to that bug. So he probably caught at least one over in that area. After he gently released that one, he'd shoot up to the head of the pool to that number 3 that you see there and just let his fly drift naturally. Could twitch it very, very slowly, gentle swimming twitch as it comes down the middle of that pool. He would certainly catch another one right up in there. So take advantage of this action we get. If it's only 17 years, you better get it while it's good. But this is a fun game, and a lot of people can really pick up some extra action on this. If you have any questions about any of this, what patterns to use, where to go, the streams, either the bass or the trout streams, I'll be glad to help you on that. Just ring me at the fly shop in Edinburgh, and we can help you on that completely.